I'll hand over to you, and then if we make a start, that'd be
Lovely.
great.
So just to get a feel, what have we got here? We've got dom care, supported living, care homes. What audience have we got today?
Yeah, I don't think we've got supported living, but we certainly have domiciliary care homes,
Okay.
and sort of absolutely, that would cover it. Yes, yeah.
Okay,
Mel,
that's brilliant.
if I may jump in, because we're recording this, it will be shared and circulated. So providers from all walks of life will actually, receive
Lovely.
a link to the recording. So feel
Oh, that's
free
fab.
to expand on the features which you think will be relevant to the most
Yeah.
types of providers.
So we've got some existing users at the moment. Who's an existing user?
So Catherine, as she is on the screen. I know Kathy's microphone's not great, but she's definitely an existing user, and relatively probably in the last year to 18 months.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, Catherine, I know your microphone's not very good. I'm still trying to sort out the camera and microphone. Okay. Is there anything that you would like to see initially, just quickly, and before we get going? She can reply on the little feed if she wants to. Okay, what I'll do, I'll share my screen just to give you a flavour. No, I can't. Well, okay, cool. So I'll share my screen, and then I can then delve into the products and the features that we have within the platform. So I'm just going to share my screen. Okay, so can everyone see the screen?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So this is our domiciliary care platform. So obviously we do exactly, we're DSCR compliant. Obviously we've gone through gate 2. Some of the advanced features we now have, they will actually dictate them on the front here. So we've just launched GP Connect, which will allow you to have access to GP records. We've got some role-based access. This has been renamed to set the levels of matching to NHS. Got multi-factor authentication. This is obviously for an added level of security. And we've made some further changes to audits, number of UI changes, auto save on care plans, and a lot of bits behind the screen. And full help guides on the area will be sent out for new instructions or new functionality is released. So I won't go into great detail, but obviously, as you would expect from a care management system, we gather all the personal information from the client, so contacts and family, about me, photo galleries, personal inventory, allergies, document libraries such as DNAR information, LPA certificates, debt facility safeguards, which a lot of people, you have to upload them on other systems, but our system where you can actually add them. We've got a hospital transfer record, consent forms. So if you want to share information with family and friends, you must do consent forms. You also have access instructions, access risks, and initial assessments. So you can personalize these to your own requirements. And then you create rate cards in our little funding area down the bottom, and this will then dictate how much your rate to pay are, and it will produce invoicing for you. So once you've detailed that, you will then get a care plan. So this is the care plan. We have one that's pre-templated for you for dom care. I'll go on to the care home system in a minute. It's very similar looking. The care plans are pretty much exactly the same, but you get a whole suite. But this provides you with the space to do your review every month or every 6 months and signatures. We have a full suite of assessments on the system. So any assessments you need to take place, you can then add them. So we've got a complete suite all the way through from initial oral assessments, mouth care assessment, moving and handling. Some of these will not apply to dom care, but they will definitely apply to care homes. We then got the care plan itself. So again, you can, and one of our advanced features on our system is you can create your own care plans now. So this is a format that we've devised for you, which covers all CQC regulations. And also what you can also do here as well is you can use our pre-configured text to actually write care plans for you. So if you're really struggling of what to write regarding continence or cognition, we've actually written some personalized care plans for you, which you can drop the text in and then you adapt them to your own individual requirements. So that's one of our advanced features on the system, and it goes through every single need area that you would like to see on your domiciliary care home care plan. We also do all your risk assessments. So after you've done your care plan, you can then provide your risk assessments, and these can be for whatever. It might be risk of falling when getting out of a chair. You then have an initial assessment, a target, and a current risk assessment. So you can actually target assessments to say we want to make this moderate and rare. At the moment, it may be possible and likely, and it's a 5x5 matrix behind the system that will give you your risk scores. It will then detail the risk assessments themselves and what you need to do. And another feature that most systems don't have is a safety and contingency plan. So really important to manage your risk. So if the risk isn't being managed, you can then put a safety contingency plan in place. When is a safety contingency plan required, action required, who should be contacted and agreed by. So that can all be listed as and when you need to, and you can do as many risks as you want, so it doesn't matter how many risks you need to do. We also have body mapping on our system, obviously, so if you need to do a body map for any particular issue, pressure ulcers, pain, medication, skin and wound, and these can all be condition managed, so you can actually alert an action from a body map, so people know to put cream on, to change a dressing, whatever it is. You then have your mental capacity and consent forms, so you've got all of your day-to-day care forms. So if you need to gain consent for absolutely anything, this can then be detailed down here. So you've got all of this. It may be bruising and marking of photos. If Winifred's unable to consent, she will then, it will then take, oh, no, it's just gone on screen. It will then take you to the mental capacity assessment. If she's able to consent, it will allow her to sign on the mobile app, okay, which I'll show you in a minute. If she's unable to, it will take you through your MCA process all the way through to your best interest decisions at the bottom. So you don't have to upload any forms. It's all part of the system and who's going to be the decision maker at the end of that. So with Carebeans, we try and obviously obtain all the information all in on the system, so you don't have to upload things if you don't want to. Obviously, with Carebeans, we have a scheduler, so you can for dom care, so you can schedule all your visits. So again, this is a drag and drop system, or you can select the jobs and then you can allocate them to a particular carer, as simple as that. We have templating as well, so you can template. And we also manage travel time. So this is a new feature we've just created. So along here, you can see that there's travel time. The red jobs means there's jobs overlapping. So this will basically say you can't fulfill them two jobs at the same time for that carer. At the moment, we're on allocate by carer, but we can do runs and routes as well. We've got a fully integrated incident accident recording system as well. So if there's any incidents or accidents, these can be taken through from initial recording. It sends emails to management, which will then drop into the operations dashboard for the management then to do further detailing, which may be things like, is a riddle required, a risk notification? And you can comment on these issues as well, and you can put them under investigation, reviews, closed, etc. So once you've scheduled all your jobs for your individuals, it will then drive all that information through to the app. Just going to open the app for you. Oh, log out. Just going to log out and I'll log back in. So what this will enable you to do on the app then is it'll actually show the work schedule for your carers. So what that will basically do is now give you your whole visit plan. So what you need to do, in what order you need to do it. It uses Google Maps. You can preview the visit and read the care plan on the mobile application and alert that you've read it. You can also get the door PIN code so you know how to enter the property. And then you click into the visit and it's going to give you a list of actions to do with care instructions. So you can then tap off what you've done as a Dom Care client. They can then talk their notes in using Google Voice. So they can either type or they can use Google Voice. So you can just obviously talk directly in. It allows you to take photos. So you might want to take a photo of someone's lunch. There's my lunch. Probably the healthiest thing I've eaten in quite a while. And then here you can then alert the handover manager, and you can also share with the family. So we have a family app and we also have a service user app coming very soon. So the service user will also be able to view who's come to visit, when they're coming to visit, and that's for care homes and for domiciliary care. So once the visit's ended, that will then end the visit. It uses geolocation mapping, so it'll alert you if they're not within the geo zone, and then all the visit notes are then compiled under the individual. So you can then see by service user what you've done today. So I'll just go on the app and say my day summary, and this is now going to log everything that I've done that day. So you can see down here I've given some medications on this particular visit. So it does all your meds as well, does all your meds recording, bits and pieces like that. You can obviously do your incidents, you can book holiday, you can view the policy. So this is a new feature as well. So you can view the policies on the app. You can read the handover report. You can see what you've done today, and then it's going to give you a log of all your visits and what you need to do on them particular visits. So once that's been done, that will then give you live scheduling. So on your scheduler, it'll actually tell you what you've done. So down here, you can now see my visit. You can see my visit durations, and that will automatically generate payroll and invoicing for you. So down in our finance section, we've got payroll rate cards. So you can choose different rates of pay for your clients. And it'll also then produce invoices for you. So every month you might be doing invoicing for, you might do it monthly or weekly, you can choose. We also have council integrations with CM2000 and Controc. So these are council led products, and they will then digitally send the start times and end times and some visit notes to the council, so that if you've got council contracts, you'll know that they're all on board and they're all happy with everything you're doing. There's lots of features obviously in your scheduling. You've also got a mobile view of the schedule, which is quite unique. So if you're on call, for example, in an area, you can actually physically see on a mobile device, you'll be able to see you'll be able to see the schedule for particular individuals. And one other feature we've just added to our scheduling is call-off visits. So you might get an emergency call from a client, and you can actually call off a visit. So this may not have been templated, it might have been an emergency call, and you can create a visit on the fly basically, which will make it easy for you to add a visit rather than having to go in and create one. You can create it via your dashboard here. We also have a care capacity report. So this will tell you all your carers, how many hours they've done, how many hours they're logged, so you can ensure that people are not over maximum hours. So it makes it quite an easy and compliant for obviously all your compliance. Going on to compliance, we also manage your carers. So anything you need, basically HR wise, we do a lot of HR for you. So we've got skills and work certifications, and it'll alert you when these work certifications are out of date. And these things could be work permits, revalidations, anything you want to list, you can list there. You can also, we have a forms builder on our system, so you can actually create your own staff forms. You can create your own care plans, you can create your own assessments, and you can obviously create your own service forms as well. So you might want to do satisfactory surveys, bits and pieces like that. These can all be managed on the system. And then this is where it collates all the holiday bookings and non-core activities. You can put working patterns 1 to 4 weeks. And we also capture all the compliance. So anything that is necessary before someone starts work with you, you can upload the files and you can put start and expiry dates. And this will then give you the ability to view what compliance is out of date, when it's out of date, and it will generate a report for you. And then you can obviously see what's out of date. We're not doing very well. There's quite a few out of date there, but you can generate the reports from there. We also manage the recruitment process. So you can see on the dashboard here, staff application statuses and compliance statuses. So that basically just makes it nice and easy for everyone to use. We have a messaging system, so you can message all your staff. We also track all your training as well. So on our dashboard here, you can see what training is out of date for all your carers. We don't physically do the training, but it's a training matrix for you. And as I said, we manage all the payroll and invoicing as well. So I'm just going to go on to the care home, and because most of the information is exactly the same. That was just that was Dom Care specific. I would have said them little bits. Carebeans. Just going to log in. So this is our platform for care homes, supported living, bits and pieces like that. And as you can see if holidays need approving, care plans need reading, the message center, like on the other product. The only slight difference, instead of having one care plan or a home care plan, what you actually get here is a complete library which has been templated for you. And it will alert you when these care plans are out of date. You can obviously always add assessments to the system. So we have a full suite of assessments, as you can see here. So complex care and standard care must tools, suspected UTIs, Waterlow tools, Braden scales, everything like that can be added. You've obviously got the mental capacity and consent, and the same as the other profile, the risk assessments. The care plans are pretty much the same as before, where you can obviously do your monthly reviews, you can add assessments into them, you can view the care planning, and again we have all our predetermined text for you. So you might have a learning disability client, and then it will produce a care plan for you that you can adapt and obviously change as you need to. You've got all your risk assessments like the other one as well, body mapping and consent and mental capacity. The main difference is, instead of having jobs like you would in Dom Care, you have actions. Okay, and we also have an EMAR system as well, so you can actually administer meds on our system, and it will give you an EMAR chart of what's been given and what hasn't. It doesn't do stock control, but it is an internal EMAR. And we also have the PRN, and we have the PRN protocol as well in the system. So if you do give PRN medication, you can give the medication, and then it'll tell you the next earliest time I can give this is 16:22 once I've given that medication. And there's just a little stop control which says you've got enough. So I can't give that med until 16:36, which is in 4 hours time. You can create all your meds lists as well and bits and pieces. So instead of having jobs, you have actions, okay? And these are either they're either timed or as and when required. So this client's got quite a few requirements. He needs a bowel chart, repositioning chart every hour, every 2 hours for repositioning. We make sure we record the bowels every 3 days max minimum, night checks every hour. And we've just introduced a new little function here, which is NFC confirmation for room entries. So if you want to make sure your carers are actually in the room, you can actually you can get an NFC tag, and we have an NFC manager that enables you to put the tags in place, and that will ask them for a scan before they can actually do the job, so you can ensure the person is in the room doing what they're meant to be doing as and when they need to do it. And then the app is very similar in the way it works. I'll just go on to the app again. This is the care home app. I'm just going to log out of this one. Okay, so when you sign in, what it's basically going to do, it's going to alert you what service users you're actually managing, because we have a little roster on here which is allocating staff to an area of the home, allocating to individuals. If you do want a full-blown roster, we also have a fully integrated roster system, time and attendance system, and also payroll for care homes. So this is now going to tell me I can book holiday. I can do very similar to what I did on the other one. You can see where you're working. You can view the policies of the organisation. But the most important button is your action button here. And this is now going to alert you who you're dealing with in date and time order. So Carl Cooper here. If I tap on him, it tells me all about the clients. And then it's going to tell me what I need to do. So I need to record some fluids. So I need to push fluids every 3 hours, and it gives me the ability to then record what fluids I've given. You can alert the handover manager or the family if you allow it. I haven't allowed it on here. And there's also mandatory notes. So I have to write something in the note there to say what fluids they've had and did they partially drink them, etc. You might need to do a bowel chart, so any observations you need to make. So the system can do very, very complex care as well, and we also list the last 5 observations whenever you're doing an observation, so you can see what's happened previously. So on here you've got a whole check. It might be night checks, welfare checks, repositioning. It may be food and fluids. It might be an ABC chart because someone's got behavioural issues. So the ABC chart is on there for you as well. The food chart. So you might need to be recording breakfast. 75%. They had some water with it. They had 300 mils again. And then you can write what they've had. Press done. Sure. And that will then record all the notes for you. And then that will then directly take it right back to the system. And then if you want to see an overall what's happened to a client, we have some really quick access reports. So you can click on the care summary here, what's happened today, and all that information that I've just done here, it's already logged. Okay, the apps work completely offline as well, so if you have bad internet or bad areas of your home, you can basically still provide care as and when you want. We use a nice simple red, amber, green, what care plans are out of date. And as like the Dom Care system, there's an operations dashboard that will tell you how many outstanding actions you've got, how many care plans are out of date, if you've got any deprivation safeguards, any medications that have been missed. This is all detailed here on one screen for the management. And you can obviously view this on any device. So you can do it on a laptop, computer, You can do it on a tablet, or you can literally do it on a phone. It's entirely up to you how you want to do that. But this is your alerting dashboard. So it's going to alert you everything that's going on. It'll tell you if you've got any absences. It's got a hospital transfer record in, like a hospital red bag. Same as the other system. It can manage all your carers, manage all your training. But really, a really nice feature is this care pathway. And this will enable you, it's a wizard, okay? So this will enable you then to select when new carers or when new service users come in, you can actually default the system to say, everyone must have these care plans. Everyone must have these assessments as standard. So you're not missing, you're not relying on a person's care planning experience. They know these ones need to be added. Everyone must have these service forms. So you could do a service form for residential settings, home care. You could do feedback forms, complaint records. And again, with our forms builder, you can create all of your service forms. And you can also create all your staff forms. It might be return to work forms, spot check forms, staff surveys, supervisions. That can all be detailed. For learning disabilities, we also have a gallery. So if you're developing your own care plan, you can actually add pictures into the care plan as well. You can default the actions that are needed. You can create your own checklists, and you can create your own care plan text if you feel it's necessary. So this wizard ensures that you select the right forms, you preset actions and checklists, you define personalised records, and this will hopefully deliver consistent care for you. So it enables you to ensure that you can provide the care that is needed for each client, and it's person-centred to their requirements. Reporting wise, we have hundreds and hundreds of reports. So anything you need to report on, you can report. So we have client or service user reports. We have support worker reports, business reports, and also audits. And we also have analytic dashboards. So if you need to analyze incidents and you want to see what's happened in the last year, or CQC are asking, I want to see all of the incidents for the last year. This will then, you can then break this down and go, there was 16 incidents in room 1, what's going on there? And then you can then delve into this information, view photos, you can view the incident record itself, what happened, and you can make incidents private if it's a whistleblower, for example. And you can also do that for communication notes for third parties such as GPs. You can also make them private as well. So that's the 2 platforms. We also have an additional feature, which is an audit tool. Okay, so we've just buddied up we've basically merged with another company called QCS. So we're actually able to provide you with all your audits as well, all your policies, and all of your reading lists, compliance tools. But a lot of people are taking the audit center on board. So this is a little add-on, but what this does, all the audits are in here for you, and it'll actually tell you, gives you little videos how to use it, but it'll actually give you a progress of what audits you've done, how many audits you need to do, and you can choose what audits you want, and it covers everything. So it could be recruitment core audit, fire check, doors, it could be care planning audit, emergency lighting. So all of these can be conducted in the QCS platform. It will have single sign-on. And then you can also conduct mock inspections. So if you want to make sure that when CQC come in, you're going to be ready for your inspections, we have the mock inspection tool. So this tool here will enable you to do mock inspections, just loading the mock up now. And then it'll enable you to see if you're safe, effective, caring, well led, and you'll be able to demonstrate that to CQC as well. So that is a little, I know it's a quick snapshot, but hopefully that'll give you a real good feel of the system. So obviously we have the Dom Care system, which is end-to-end, and then we have the care home system. Also, you can add the roster, time and attendance, and payroll to it.
Lovely. Thank you, Carl. That was bored of listening to your own voice there. Constant.
Whistle stop tour.
Yeah, absolutely. So
But I
thank you
think
for that.
that's sometimes best to get a high level overview rather than going, because obviously if people want to go into detail, they can obviously contact me, and we can obviously do more in depth. We can do more in depth presentations as needed. I'll just stop sharing my screen for a second.
Okay, lovely. There's a couple of questions that came in from people who couldn't be here, so I'll pose those. And I think you've probably answered one already around, they're talking about the client view of rotas. At the moment, they're screenshotting and sending them to people. So that's coming, you're saying that's a new
Yes, that's
feature.
correct. That's a new little feature that's coming. So they'll be able to, it's very soon. I think it's at the end of the month we're launching that. So the carers, the clients will be able to see the who's come to see them at 4 care homes as well. So they'll be able to view their care. We've already mocked it up. We just need to implement it.
Okay, lovely. I'll get back to them and let them know that then. And just in terms of, you sort of said people can come back to you. So a lot of the feedback from providers on using DSCRs is how, what's the, obviously get the ongoing or the training package when they initially set up. What sort of training things, have you got ongoing things that happen, sessions and online tutorials or?
Yeah, so we've got online tutorials. We also have 24/7 support. So that's free as part of the process. So if anyone needs to contact us, and then we also do a full implementation plan with them. So we go through each step of the system to ensure that they're happy. We have a customer success team to ensure that they're happy with all the training and they know how to use the system. And that's the most important part for us, is the implementation of the system to ensure they know exactly how to use it. Because a lot of people take systems on and they don't utilize them. They only use one bit, which obviously doesn't make them compliant with CQC. So we ensure that they get full use of the system.
Okay, and then obviously you've mentioned about GP Connect. That's a recent-ish addition, which I know a lot of providers are really keen on. So how does that work, and is that application for you? How does that kind of materialise?
So it's a bit of a process because you have to get a code from the doctor.
Okay.
I think every doctor's surgery has a reference code. It then needs to be mapped, and then we obviously ensure that only the data is accessible by people that need to see it. So it's not available to everyone. It's more available obviously for managers and supervisors. And what it will basically do, it's like your NHS app. It'll actually show you all your episodes of care, medications are on, so you can check the meds, make sure they're all correct. And it'll give you all the episodes of care and conditions and bits and pieces like that.
Okay, so first step is to contact the GP to get that code. So
yes.
And then they would come to you to then initiate that process.
That's correct, yes.
Right, okay.
So there's a few steps you have to go through because obviously it's confidential information. So we do go through a process, and I have to sign a disclaimer or a waiver as well, obviously, because now we're linking in with NHS services.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'll just open up the if anyone else has got any questions. I've got a couple more if not. Carl, would you mind stop sharing your screen, because it's very disconcerting looking at yourself twice, I tell you. Thank you.
Let me just try and move this. My mouse has just stopped working, so I'm having to move things with my
that's better.
There we
go.
There you go.
Thank you. Cheers. Thank you. Kathy, have you got a question? You popped up on your screen now and I thought maybe you've got a question.
Oh, you just need to unmute yourself, Kath. Top right corner, there should be a mic symbol. It should let you unmute.
We've had problems with this before, Kathy, haven't we? I think we phoned each other and got around it that way. So Kathy is already using Carebeans. I do know that. And she represents a domiciliary care organisation. Is it a long question, Kathy? Is it typable?
She might not have a mic on her computer.
Yeah, no. Alex, was there anything you wanted to ask?
No, I was just gonna try to lighten the mood by saying it's a shame to have 50% of Kathy available. Just audio, not available, image available. So, no, it was a whistle tour, right? And obviously the system has tons of functionality.
Absolutely, yeah.
You were moving around far too quickly for me at some stages because the system. For me, it's the first time that I've actually seen it in action.
Yes.
But I can understand that a lot of the stuff seems to be fairly self-explanatory. I'd be interested in how do you see things progressing? So you mentioned about your integration or you being acquired by QCS.
Yeah.
QCS. And then running the mock-up tool, which didn't load on time. So how do you envision the digital future in the sector? It's more of a generic question, but I think it'll be beneficial for those who watch this recording later on to have an idea of what's the shape of things to come.
Yeah, I personally think you're going to see a lot of consolidation of companies. I've seen it already that companies are buying other companies, and I think you're going to get 2, 3, 4 big players in the market, and I can probably see them, the smaller ones or the people that aren't as proactive. I think you may see them be either bought or slowly decline, because obviously the DSCR program is a very, very expensive program to go through. Well, I think we've delivered over 100,000 pages of documentation, and the cost of developing what the DSCR are compliant. Some people just haven't got the funds to be able to do that. So yeah, I would have said that would be the main thing that I can see in the market, that it's going to consolidate. Obviously, us and QCS, the reason for that merge was they're fantastic at doing the policies, procedures, audits, and we're fantastic at doing the care planning. And they obviously it was just like a nicely shaped glove for us to go and say, right, we can now provide an all-in-one system for clients. Instead of them having to buy X, Y, and Z, they can then purchase it all from one supplier.
Okay, and this is a follow-up, possibly rather naive question. Access to the QCS system comes at an extra charge for those who are already your Carebeans.
Yes, that's correct. Yes, yeah. So the audit tool and the mock inspection, it's just a small uplift. I think it's £100 a month, and you can add that, and it'll have a single sign-on soon as well. So when you sign on and you've got both products, it'll go
between both systems.
It'll move between
without
them.
relogging. Okay. Yep. Thank you.
Catherine said she'll contact Carebeans directly about the questions that she had. Yeah, Catherine, by all means, you can call the support team 01925 386 800, and then you can just contact someone there, or you can email me direct at carl@carebeans.co.uk.
Thank you. I can always pass that on to Kathy. So, and any questions from Adam's Court?
Hello,
Hi.
my name is Jerry. I'm deputy manager. So the presentation was really good. So we're currently using person-centered software. Obviously, after watching your presentation of Carebeans, our software is not as robust as Carebeans. So that looks interesting option, of course, especially around the staff management.
Yes,
that was really good. So what I'm gonna speak to my home manager, our regional manager, around this. So we can see if we can move this further.
absolutely. Yeah. By all means, it's great to and I think it's I'm finding a lot of suppliers now. They have incumbent suppliers, but now they're seeing other products that do more for them.
Yeah.
And we always, because obviously PCS and Nourish, they're the big players in the market. It's very much sheep mentality sometimes. Oh, John's using it down the road, it must be brilliant. But I want people to benchmark products to actually see a comparison, and that's what I would advise to new people that are going digital, definitely.
We're using QCS as well, but it's not implemented with person-centered software, so that would be ideal as well.
Yeah, so there'll be a lot of implementation. There'll be a lot of integration going on with Carebeans, so policies will be integral. So I think they're all going to be integrated into the Carebeans product. So yeah, you're going to see a lot of transformations with both QCS and Carebeans. Now we're part of the Carebeans banner. We've got over 100 employees. So yeah, we're a really lovely company to work for as well.
Lovely, thank you. Just one further question, Carl, around also a few queries about AI and how that's been integrated into sort of digital social care record systems. So there's that kind of, what does it mean for providers? They're worried about losing that personalisation as well.
Yes.
If for automated tasks, but obviously we see some benefits in it. So how do you kind of see that rolling out as well?
At the moment, we are looking at AI, but we're holding back on AI at the moment because we're all about personalisation. So we are going to be introducing AI, and it is a project that we're currently going in. We're going to use it in a more, I would say, pragmatic way, using tools like keyword searches and grabbing information out. There will be some elements of how do I write a washing and dressing care plan, but the problem is if you do that for everyone, you're going to get the same plan of care, and then you're going to be in a situation with CQC saying, well, this isn't personalised. It all depends on what you throw into the AI, into the actual subject. But yeah, we've got some really exciting things to come on that. We're keeping it close to our chest at the moment.
Okay, all right. Well, watch this space then.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
watch this space, definitely.
Okay,
yeah.
Lovely. All right then, as we're nearly at 1 o'clock then, if there are no further burning questions, I say I'll pass your email to Kathy, so she's definitely got that and she can contact you. We'll close it there then, and thank you very much for joining, everybody. Lovely to see you.